doesn't like catching up with friends? It's lovely, isn't it, to meet up, have a chat, talk about things that we have in common. I have some special friends that go back to when I was at school, and we still keep in touch, and it's lovely to see them. It really is. I always come away uplifted and built up, and as if I'm flying. It doesn't just lift your spirits, it just helps you feel so much better. If you feel the same, then comment down below. Comment down below what makes you feel good, what makes you feel happy. It's just lovely having a cup of coffee, isn't it? Or sitting down and having a meal. You know, it's good for our soul, but it's also good for our mental health. What do you think? Do you think the same? Do you agree? Let us all know in the comments what you think and how chatting with friends makes you feel. Alright, I'm going to do some Reiki as well in the video, because I want you to feel at ease and I want you to feel refreshed. So just sit down, relax, and just relax, let your body loosen and just feel comfortable, even if you just shrug your shoulders, you see. Going back to meeting my friends, we have lots and lots of conversations, but the one conversation that I remember well was about dreaming. Now, do you dream? Do you remember your dreams? What sort of dreams do you have? Share with us. Let us know what experiences, where you go, how you feel. Do you ever dream about lost loved ones? If you do, how does it make you feel? This is a question, not a question, this came up in the discussion that we had, was how did I manage to dream a lot about my dead loved ones? And I dream about them on a regular basis, all the time. And my friend was saying that she couldn't, she didn't know how she could connect with them, what she would have to do to connect with them. If you've connected with a lost loved one, let us know how it felt. So what I thought about, I'll talk about today, is dreaming here and beyond. Tips that we can connect with our departed, our dearest loved ones. Because they're always on our mind, aren't they? It doesn't matter where we are. We can be listening to music, or we could be watching something on the telly, and it triggers a spark, doesn't it? You know, it does with me anyway, certain music. And many people ask the question, how can they? And when they dream, they also ask the question, what does my dream mean? Do you remember your dreams? Because they really sometimes feel like a puff of smoke, don't they? And then if we dream about our departed relatives, what are the dreams? Why have we dreamt about them? Just taking in some of the Reiki. You know, even the most intrepid dreams can mean nothing to some people. You know, dreamers ask the question, don't they? What does this mean? What does that mean? It's hard to decipher or why you've dreamt about a certain thing, loved one. It's a good idea to jot down as well, when we wake up, what our dreams were about. Because if we leave it later through the day, then we're going to forget. It's just going to pop, go away. So my friend was asking me about, you know, why couldn't she dream about her mum? Why couldn't she dream about her dad? Well, I lost my mum and dad many, many years ago. And I still dream about them. You know, they appear in a lot of dreams weekly. Weekly, I have dreams about mum and dad. And I find personally, if I'm worrying about something, I tend to see my dad in my dreams. It's as if he's there to settle me down. We all dream, but we don't always remember what it is that we have dreamt about. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pull away some of these obstructions that are making it difficult for you to remember your dreams, because we all have between 5 and 7 REM, rapid eye movements, during the night. Now, this has been shown throughout different reports, PET scans. So we know there is fact to back this up about these rapid eye movements, which also indicates when we're dreaming. There we go, just a few more. That seems a little bit tough, so let's get rid of this obstacle and make you feel a little bit, well, not a little bit, but relaxed. Feeling relaxed. Have you noticed as well that sometimes if we do remember our dreams, it's when we first wake up. That's the memory that we have. But, and as I said, if we don't write them down, then we completely forget about them. I've had times where I've remembered dreams, or I've gone back to the same dream over and over again, the same place. It's like a little city in my own dream world. No, I just love going to sleep, and I love my dreams, and yes, I do analyse them, and I do write them down, because I like to go back and have a look and see how it makes me feel. They are very sensitive, aren't they, dreams? They're like wisps of mist, wisps of smoke. They're there and then they just pop and they go away. So holding on to them by writing them down is a good idea. Well, I continued the conversation by letting my friend know that yes, if she really wanted to and she really thought about it, then she would be able to have a visit from her mum and from her dad. What do you think? Do you think this is possible? it's highly likely that you can have one, and ideas of how this can happen. Well, for one, she could start by wanting to have a visit in her dreams. It all starts with the need, with a want. And then believing that this is possible. So you want to do something and you believe that this will happen. And then you can also invite them into your dreams. You know, ask them. Because sometimes they could just be waiting in the wings, and our loved ones just want an invitation. They're right there. And they don't want to just encroach upon us. They're just waiting for us to invite them to come into our dreams. We can welcome them into our dreams. Yeah. They are waiting to come and visit. So by inviting them, wanting and believing, then this is a start. These are the first steps into helping to set the stage for a visit, a nocturnal visit. How does that make you feel? Is it making you feel, all goosebumpy and tingly? You see, the veil between the worlds is very thinner while we're sleeping. And the spirits of our departed loved ones are just there, waiting to come in and to reassure us. And so they have an easier time contacting us when the veil is thin. You know, if they've been given the request, or they hear our request, they hear our invitations, then that's paving the way for them to enter into our dreams. Just taking some more time to give this Reiki, this relaxing, unwinding Reiki, that's going to help you stay calm. So if we don't ask them, and they don't know that we want a visit from them in our dreams, then they may not oblige. See, I talk to my dad all the time. And we might think, oh, that can't be real. But our dreams are part of us, a part of our subconscious. And when we're tucked in for the night, this is when we can let ourselves unwind. And our mind, we have a wider collective mind. And this is when our personal unconsciousness starts to work. We've got our soul and our mind wanting the same thing, and they are free to journey to other places while we sleep. They can be anywhere. We can feel so relaxed, and we can go to other realms as well. During unguarded moments, such as our dream states, this is where we let everything just go, isn't it? This is where we're at peace. Our dream lives, do they feel real, as if we are walking around in our normal lives, our day-to-day lives? An author by the name of Thomas More, and he was the author of Care of the Soul. When somebody asked him about their dreams and them seeing loved ones, they wanted to know if they were real, and he said yes, very real, even more so. And he went on to talk about Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, when she returned to Kansas at the very end of her journey, when she come back from Oz. Her Auntie Em was there, and she told Dorothy it was just a dream. It was just a dream, my dear. And then Dorothy responds to what her aunt said. She says, no, Auntie. No, Auntie Em, it wasn't a dream. It was very, very real. The place I went to was a very real place. And she wouldn't be convinced otherwise. So, when you think about it, she'd just been there. She'd just been to Oz in her dreams. And then when she woke, no, it wasn't a dream. It was real. So, our mythical stories often contain the seeds, the little seeds of what our deeper truths are. A mythos legend and other mythologies can mean a fairy tale. And also modern films today. There we are. And fantasy films. Sometimes you think you're there, don't they? They all contain illusions. They reference as well, don't they? When you listen to these films, they reference to connections across time. Across time and across space. And the veil between life and the afterlife. That's it, just take it all in, take in all the relaxing energy. In Greek mythology, Phaeus, he journeyed to the underworld. He journeyed there because he attempted to retrieve his beloved Persephone. Harry Potter as well. In the Harry Potter books, he receives messages of love. Messages of love and messages of support from his mother, his deceased mother. And that helped him, didn't it? It helped him. It sustained him. Through all of his many trials and tribulations, he felt the benefit of his mum. Tibetan traditions also teach that there is a bardo state. And this is a state that's between worlds. This is where the spirits of our dear loved ones rest. They rest there on their transition to their final destination. And also where we may have to be able to join. Getting some more of these deeper obstacles. Indigenous people, such as the Anishinaabe, I hope I've pronounced that right, they hold ceremonies, don't they? These ceremonies that they hold is to invite the spirits of their departed loved ones. They invite them in so they can teach, so they can guide, and so they can heal. Mexicans also have a tradition, don't they? The annual Day of the Dead. Is it Dia del Muerto? Where they believe this is where the veil is so thin, and they visit the graves and they tend them with feasts and flowers. We've all seen it, haven't we, in the films? some of us may have been fortunate to go there during these times. And the dead relatives are greeted and acknowledged. They're conversed with as well, aren't they? In the internationally popular movie Fiddler on the Roof, I don't know if some of you have not heard of this film. It's a very old film, Fiddler on the Roof. And Tevi, he needed to convince his wife, her name in the film was Goldie, and he needed to convince her that they should allow their daughter, Titzel, to marry the person, her beloved, who she loved. Here's Martel, the tailor. So he had a plan, and what he did, because she was going to marry Lazy the Wolf, whom she was betrothed to, but she didn't love. So he wanted to get his wife to agree to the plan so she could marry her beloved. So what he did, he pretended that Goldie's beloved deceased grandma came to him in a dream. So she'd appeared to him in this dream. And in this dream, she gave her permission, her blessing, for his daughter to marry her beloved. This was a new idea of a love match. It's a bit crafty, wasn't it, really? But he knew the power of dreams. That's the point I'm trying to get to. He knew the power of dreams for his wife. So if he told her that he had a dream, he had a visit in the dream from her side, a message from the other side, then she would agree that the daughter could marry the one that she loved and not the one that she was betrothed to. It would be unarguable and it would have a big impact. And so that's what he did, not taking any chances in this fabricated dream, in this scene of this fabricated dream. So he wakes up his wife, Goldie, and tells her this, and he reports everything that's gone on, everything that went on in the dream and what he'd been told. So dreams must have meant a significant part of life. See, because she then agreed to give her blessing to the match. that dreams have been spoken about all through history. Even mention of dreams in the Bible, in all sorts of books, and the relevance and what they mean. So they do have a great big impact upon us. So I mentioned to my friend as well that certain crystals can help her to connect while she's asleep. And the crystals that I found that are the most powerful are Herkimer diamond. It's a very strong crystal to work with. It opens up our higher self and allows us there's also Moldavite. This packs a punch. This is a very intense stone. It may be too intense for you. If it does feel too intense, then possibly work with another stone that's a little bit softer. We've got moonstone. Moonstone is a wonderful stone that we can work with when we go to sleep and when we want to dream. The quartz, all the quartz variations, they help. I've got rose quartz here. Rose quartz is for love. So just imagine if you're using this, the love that you will feel and the love that will come through to you in your dreams. I also like selenite. Selenite. I wear selenite such a lot. You know, we can all dream about our loved ones after they have died. You find that it brings a sense of peace, doesn't it, to us? It also brings a sense of comfort. Last, this is clear quartz, the master healer. So that is also another stone that we can use to help us when we want to concentrate and dream, because sometimes dreams can put closure on unfinished business. There's a lot of things that help us heal. There could be things that are lingering about in the relationship at the back of the mind. And so when we dream, this can help us, can't it? It can help us to clarify and feel so much better. Sometimes our loved ones will come of themselves. Other times they could come as something else. My daughter-in-law, she always says when she sees a robin that that's her mum. Her mum is near. And it's lovely, isn't it? Because it just makes you feel so peaceful and so content. I think I mentioned probably in a previous video that a lady purchased a little raven from me, and she said that she wanted this because she'd lost a friend, but a friend always said to her that she would appear as a raven. When we think back, I can give you an experience. When the day that my mum died, I was shopping beforehand just to get a few things to take in, and I was in the shop and this very strong smell of tobacco just overcome me, and I turned around and I thought, well, there's no smoking, but this was my dad's cigarette smoke. And I thought, no, I tried to pass it off. I always thought, well, there's a reason, you know, this unnerved me a little bit, and I thought, maybe somebody smokes heavy, and that's probably the smell that's on their clothing as they walk past, that there must be an explanation to this. Well, I've had the smell of that smoke before on several occasions, and I've always realised that was from my dad. Well, when I went to see Mum in the home and she was just lying there, the bells started to ring, the alarm bells on the bed. And when one of the carers came in, I said, oh, I haven't touched anything. You know, I didn't lean on anything. And she said, no, that's okay. So she unplugged all the alarms from the electric sockets on the wall. But this ringing kept going on intermittently throughout that day. And I thought to myself, well, why, you know, it's not connected. And I don't know why I had this thought, but I thought, I bet any money it's my mum, and she wants everybody to come in and say goodbye to her. Each carer, one by one. And this is exactly what happened throughout the afternoon. The alarm kept going off. Everybody was puzzled because it wasn't connected to anything. So why was it going off? Well, eventually, when my mum did pass, I'd taken in a teddy bear with a balloon, and this balloon just dropped, and smoke appeared outside her window, and the window was slightly ajar, and that deep tobacco smell came in to the room. Now I looked over at my husband and he looked at me, and I just said, did you smell that? And he went, yeah. And there is no way that smoke could have been anybody outside smoking, because my mum was on oxygen, so smoking wasn't allowed around or in the home. And where she was on a higher floor, and there wasn't access for anybody there. So I thought to myself, that's my dad. And going back to the balloon, I had bought another lady in the home a basket with a teddy bear and a balloon. It was similar, I'd made them for them. And that balloon was still up 2 days later. So it just made me think, oh my goodness, you know, what's going on? So maybe that was my dad's way of saying, look, everything's going to be okay, and my mum's way of saying everything's going to be okay. You know, if you've had an experience like this, then please comment down below. It's nice to hear what's happened. But going back to dreaming and the question that my friend asked is, yes, we can dream about them. We want to dream about them. It's our intention. We invite them and we leave it open. And then who knows what can happen, how we feel, how it makes us feel, how it builds us. So thank you so much for watching today. If you've enjoyed this video, please can you give it a thumbs up? Can you like? Can you leave a comment? I love to read the comments. And subscribe, because when you subscribe you will get notifications of my other videos, and you will also help YouTube show my videos, so other people who may be looking for something, for some reassurance, inspiration, they may find my video. So that would be so much appreciated. So thank you so much for joining me today. It's been lovely. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.